Welcome to Daddy's Money Garage. As you can see, we're kind of breaking and entering right now, so we gotta get this done because the cops are probably already on their way.
Yeah, we should turn these lights off so it doesn't look suspicious.
It's warming up here in Tennessee. Spring has just began, even though it's still cold. If you pay attention to our community tab, then you know that I just recently bought a used Sportster. Well, the past Saturday, John and I went around to 5 dealers in the Nashville area and looked at a few bikes just to see, what they would be out the door. If you're coming here from Uncle Tony's video, then you pretty much know how this whole thing ended. If you have not seen Uncle Tony's video, go watch it now or watch it after. However, if you want to see the actual interactions we had and the post-mortem reports of every quote we got, strap in because this is 30 minutes long. And I'm never buying a new bike ever, ever, ever.
Yeah, that's fair.
Let's just get right into it, and we'll see y'all at the end.
Alrighty.
And during, I guess.
Well, I mean, now.
These are all Rebels?
Yeah, all the way till you get to the Striker over there. I wonder if that weird headlight's any good. That's the 1100. These things are probably outside of budget, but that paint is really pretty. It's like root beer.
Oh, look, it's
Look
like
at
a
that.
mini Ultra Glide.
Oh, yeah.
We can buy a fleet of Ruckuses.
Could do.
You're thinking the Rebels?
Well, we're going to see Rebel, and then you might be able to find something like that.
I'm thinking that this is close.
Oh, yeah. How does it feel? Do you feel like a monkey?
No, I don't feel, no. See, you gotta have your legs right.
Yeah, how are the ergos, though? Looks small.
It is small.
It is small, yeah.
Probably 7,000 small. Oh yeah, that's actual knowledge.
That is actual knowledge. Yeah, and this one is 2, 4, 6, 8, a 2009 model. Wow.
Belt drive,
Can I start it?
easy
You
maintenance.
I'm gonna say I don't want
Kickstand's down.
to. Oh.
I bet it's got a
In
safety.
neutral, it'll start with the kickstand down.
Okay.
Carbureted? No.
Probably not.
I think this is going to be fuel efficient.
Yep.
Yeah, because it does not have a
No
on-off reserve switch.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
So leaving the Honda joint.
Looked at a 23 Rebel and a used V-Star, but the V-Star doesn't really fit into this. But what have we discovered so far, John?
That's pretty much how it was a few years ago when I was still in the business. 23 Rebel 300, right? Dude gave us, he said he just sold one.
Shut up, car!
He said he just unloaded one for, it was an ABS model, so it was $300 more expensive than the one that was on the floor.
Yeah.
And he had that one for $69.30
Yeah.
or so. And quoted us $66.50 for this one.
Oh, that's right, yeah. It was $66.50.
Yeah, so he knew the exact actual sale price off because he just got done doing the transaction. MSRP for that bike for the ABS model as of last model year was $5,000.
Okay.
So they had $600 freight that Honda charges. You're not getting away from that. They had a dock fee. They had a setup fee because Honda ships their bikes in a crate with no handlebars or accessories or anything, and they do that setup.
And I think it's just odd that the end user has to pay for them to assemble the bike that they have to assemble to sell in the first place.
Yeah, and there's, you have your actual tax, because you're actually going to have tax on the entire purchase price, not just MSRP.
At the end of this whole thing, that bike MSRP for Honda is $5,000.
Yeah.
And they're selling the bike brand new, out the door, taxes and fees, title, all that.
Just under 7. 66, 67 if you're not getting ABS.
Do you feel like we're getting gouged on that one?
Well, charging a setup fee for a bike that you have to put together to sell seems kind of weird, but the smaller the bike, the less margin there is on it.
But in the dealer's defense, they've been in business for a long time, and I've heard nothing but good things from them.
Their parts guys have always been helpful.
Yeah, and even if we find a good deal, it needs to be shown on video anyway. I don't feel like that one was too bad, but the place we're going to next is likely going to try to count.
Oh yeah. No, that feels it just seems like they're just doing this. It's straight up. You've got your dock fee because they're going to charge one. You've got your tax. You've got your freight, and you've got an assemblage fee, I guess. Which I don't like that, but it is what it is.
Good price on that VMAX though.
You mean the V-Star?
Yeah, V-Star.
Yeah, if it was a VMAX for that price, I'd probably been riding out of there.
Yeah, just leave with it.
Yeah, I was like, no, that's mine. So that's the 650. That's a twin.
Yeah.
Of course, nothing's got tags on it, so it's
Yeah.
a matter of talking to somebody. I like the sculpted tank here.
What about these here?
The little ones?
Are these comparable to that Rebel?
Pretty close. You're still looking at around there MSRP. The Honda should be a little more expensive.
But it's within that area.
But yeah, you're kind of in the same ballpark.
That's pretty. Burnt copper?
With
Aren't
the
these like horribly unreliable though?
it depends on if
So it
you.
depends on which one you get.
I probably SV650.
I think this is more comparable than the Enfield.
Yeah, these is probably going to be like 8 or 9 out the door at this point, because these used to be like 7 MSRP. I was looking at one of these before I got my Aprilia.
It's kind of not the same though.
It's kind of very different. Yeah, it's not at all the same thing you were looking at.
It's pretty though.
Oh, this is all zeros.
Oh, they're electric?
That's electric.
Oh, I don't care.
There's your charger.
Yeah, I feel real cool
Yeah.
using that. I think that Royal Enfield is probably the
That's
the
probably
one.
going to be the closest thing to what we're looking at here.
That
That is, it's like a Rokon, but electric.
This is what happens when we, distance ourselves from God. Let's go look at the actual thing we came to look at. It feels good. Does it feel quality? I wonder how much they want for it.
That is the real question, but like ergos though.
That sure is a lot of end play.
Yeah,
Clutch.
yeah, that should be adjusted out.
All right, let's
Yeah.
go get the dude.
Okay.
Prep, which is $675, and then you got commodity charge and stuff. It's right at $349.
What's the commodity charge?
So it's just a cost from the manufacturer that they send us.
How much is that? I'm taking notes.
Oh, I lost it here. $349,
$349.
and then after tax and everything, he has it at $78.40, but he said he'll take $78.
Okay. And original is 62.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So 7,800 out the door.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
So there's $1,000 in freight and commodity, whatever the hell it means,
And taxes.
and then you got taxes, which is that's pretty straight out.
So we just left one of the most notorious dealers in the Nashville area, and what did we find, John?
Looked at just getting pricing for 2 bikes inside of the range. Really, all they had on the floor at this point, they had one SV650, GSXR something or other. There was 2 Yamahas, and everything else was
Enfield.
Royal Enfield, Benelli, and CF Moto.
We've learned that these dealers really, really do not want to give out their quote paperwork.
No, they're not a fan.
So we don't have that, but I took a picture of it. John, you've memorized what's on that sheet.
I wrote it down.
Explain exactly what we're going to be paying for if we bought that bike.
The one that we got the quote for was the 650 Interceptor.
Yeah.
And he had, tax, title, fees, freight, all that out the door, 78 and some change. But they'll take 78 flat. That $40 is really gonna.
That's
That's really gonna seal the deal.
MSRP was $6,200.
$61.99.
And then of course you're paying taxes on it.
Yep.
A $675 freight charge. And
Well, that's freight and prep. They're not shipped fully assembled.
But the thing that's interesting about this dealer's quote is that there's a $350 commodity/other charge.
It just said miscellaneous fees or accessories, but it's not explained, and the guy literally could not explain it.
Yeah.
So it's literally just $350 of margin. Like, even on their internal quote we weren't supposed to get a copy of, it isn't explained. It just says
Commodity slash other.
it just says accessories or other fees.
It's basically like, oh, I'm buying this bike. Here's an extra $350 for reasons.
Yeah.
Definitely the first dealer way more honest than the one that we just got back from. So.
Oh yeah, for
Of
sure.
course, we knew that. We knew that going in.
Yeah.
The next one we're going to, we've dealt with a couple of times, and they don't have the reputation that the last one we went to does. So I guess we're gonna see what we can get out of there. I know they'll have a really nice selection of stuff.
That was really weird. I was totally expecting. I've been there before, but I haven't been there in a long time, and they've got like no motorcycles left.
They wanted to charge $4,000 for a Chinese Grom.
Yeah, for a knockoff of a Honda Grom, they were saying like $4,500 at the door, and I'm like, you could just
You go buy a real one.
two used Groms for $4,500,
Yeah.
and then you and your buddies can scooter joust and get arrested.
It seems like the cheap Chinese garbage gets marked up even more.
Yeah. It should be a better deal. It should be a better value for dollar, but it's not.
We could punch really low and stop at a Harley dealer. I mean, and that's coming from a Harley guy. I know how much they mark everything up.
Yeah, but the difference is like your bars are made out of steel. Your clutch doesn't have 2 inches of end play before it starts to do anything.
Like that Royal Enfield did.
Yeah, that was something.
Anyway, we're almost there, so we'll see y'all inside.
All right. No, the thing I'm lusting over in here is
That looks terrifying. Look at the fender. It's like,
huh.
Everybody's
doing the Ducati Diavol thing.
Is this 6449 or 6449?
I had a picture of it. I took a picture of this thing. 6449. Yeah.
What county do you live in?
Davidson. I really couldn't sit on that.
I mean, nobody's gonna stop you. A Newton meter is roughly the equivalent of one purple nurple.
I had a question.
I need one.
Under the tax title registration, what are the document and administration?
Doc B.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Doc B.
Yep.
Okay. What's dealer prep?
Dealer prep, that's to get the bike ready to go. Get it out of the crate, get it final assembled.
Okay.
Take it down the road, scuff it, make sure everything is good on it.
So
Get the battery going.
Just so you're ready to rock and
gas
roll,
in it.
ride it home.
So I wouldn't be buying that bike?
Be down.
Okay.
They've already done all those things to it.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I do like the Rebel. That does fit well.
I mean, ergo, it's a pretty typical cruiser. So
Yeah. That's what I like. I like it simple. Like, I would love that. That'd be cool.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
want to finance anything if I can avoid it.
Yeah.
So. We got a quote on another Honda Rebel, like the first one we looked at today.
This is a 500.
It is?
Yes, the first one was a 300. This is a 500.
Okay. So either way, it's a Honda Rebel.
Base price is $64.49.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's $1,500 more. You got 200 cc's more engine. That puts it right in the ballpark. We're looking at the actual quote that we were issued here.
Well, first, what was the price on the sticker?
The price on the sticker on the actual tag was just the MSRP of $64.49. That says including factory options. So if it had ABS, that would be under MSRP. That wouldn't be a different line item, right? So they had factory options 0, added accessories 0, freight $7.99.
What?
Which is $200 more than the Honda store charges for freight for
The
a
same
Honda.
dimension bike.
Yeah, so I don't know if they charge a different freight rate on the 500 and the 300, but when I was working at a Honda dealer, it was pretty much based on the size of the bike or weight. Obviously, a Goldwing costs more to ship than, $250. I think that
Is a
freight
bit
might be a
ridiculous.
little higher than it should be.
You're probably just padding it out. I
And,
that's exceedingly high for freight.
Yes, but also there's $500 for dealer prep, which is uncrate and assembly, and they go through and test if there's any defects or whatever, right? It makes sense, but $500 doesn't make as much sense when the dealer down the street charges $200 less per line item. So that's $400, even if you're buying the same bike, just to buy it on the other side of town. This person's coming over.
Oh, gotta love all the people moving to Nashville that don't know how to drive.
It's not even that. It's always sucked up here. What are you talking about?
Also, there are more blind spots in a Dodge Challenger than Stevie Wonder has in his normal eyesight.
Got the whole thing here.
Yeah, this one actually gave us a quote.
Yeah, on paper. Net sale, cash price, net trade, $77.47. That's with the freight and prep and dealer price, all that stuff. And then you've got total others, almost $1,100 in other charges. $692 is sales tax, and there is a $103 title license registration fee. But they also have a dock and or admin fee of $300. Altogether, you're looking at a bike that's $6,500 new, and out the door is $8,840.
So there you're definitely getting boned.
Well, you're gonna pay tax and you're gonna pay freight, but you shouldn't have to pay more freight than somebody else buying the same bike at a different dealer across town.
The thing is that at the end of the day, it matters how much I feel like I'm getting screwed. And I feel like that one, surprisingly, is screwing me more than the second one that we went to.
Yeah.
The next one's going to be real interesting because John used to work at this dealer that we're about to go to. So this may be fun.
Oh boy. I might see people I know. I doubt it.
Maybe we'll get into a fight.
You know? One of the things that we noticed is that every place we visited doesn't have a lot of on-the-floor inventory in the price range that we specified.
What I'm starting to pick up from this whole thing is that if you want to save money on a motorcycle, just buy a used one. But,
yeah, like the last place we went, they probably had, what, 40 or 50 bikes on the floor?
yeah.
And they had two that were inside of the price range that weren't like a Grom or a Navi.
To be fair, they had a lot of like niche stuff like Triumphs, KTMs,
Oh yeah.
stuff like that.
Yeah, they're dealing in that premium power sports space. Not quite like, BMW, Ducati premium, but
On the flip side of that, we found something in a premium place that was at least on the sticker in the price range that we're looking for. But then as soon as we talked to the salesperson, it skyrockets way past that.
That's because then you find out how much all the fees are.
You kind of expect that. But honestly, I still feel like the first dealer we went to is by far the best.
So far, the best experience. It was no pressure, easy.
Even showed us a bike that was bigger, that was used, not what we're looking for. But he showed us that and was like, this thing is, you use this for a long time and it's within the price range.
I mean, even if you just ordered the 500 from the first place that we went to, you're still going to save $400, $500, $600 over going to this one.
Location? Is that part of this?
I don't know. I'm sure their rent is sky high, but
Well, we're going to a completely different county now, so I guess we'll see if there's any.
we're going to the wealthiest county in the southeast.
Yeah, well, I guess we'll
So-
see how that pans out.
Oh, it's going to be rough. It's going to be like a night in jail, man.
Did you bring KY?
No, I was just expecting them to put sandpaper around it. Just want to look at those again.
Yeah, that seems to be the common thing. Is it a 300 or the 500 or the 11? That's definitely not the 11. This is.
No, the 1100 is a twin.
So this is a 300.
This must be. Yeah, that's a 3. CMX 300.
It just shocked me.
Yeah, it's the floors. Look at the seat.
Nice
I
diamond
like that
stitching.
seat. You want to poke around back in the back or over there?
I think those are what.
That's all Cowie. Looks like it's off-roady stuff over there. All their used stuff is in the back.
No,
So.
we're looking at new.
Yeah.
My ass hurts now.
Yeah, it was bad.
That was bad. We just left a dealership that John used to work at, and by far got the worst possible quote on a bike that we had already gotten a quote on
3 times
at
today.
a different place.
So, again, what they got on the floor, they got Honda Rebels. They got 300s, they got 500s. What we were quoted, it was a Rebel 500 ABS, 2023.
Brand new.
So brand new. The guy just gave us the easy quote. Don't know if there's any available discounts or anything from Honda this month because they do that. We were quoted MSRP $68.99
Which already has a problem.
because the MSRP on the Rebel 500 ABS is $67.49. It's literally on their website. Starting off $150 over MSRP as the MSRP. The price is wrong. So whether it's their pricing is wrong at the dealer level or they're just seeing if they can get it, it doesn't matter. $600 for freight, which Honda charges a combination of freight and destination. It comes to $600 for that bike. But they also charge almost $600 for assembly. Like, you got to put the thing together, you got to check it over. I understand you got to pay your tech, but $600 to uncrate something, put some lights and maybe a wheel on it. And then they got a $350 dock and a $61 license, which is incorrect because that is for the wrong county.
Yeah.
The guy didn't ask what county we live in. Out the door estimated $9,210.49 on a $6,750 bike.
And that does not include the KY.
Oh no, that like you're gonna have to option for the Honda Loop. I had worked there a long time ago, and it was like pulling teeth to get a quote. And apparently nothing's changed. Guy basically said if I just went to them every time somebody walked in wanting pricing, they'd shoot me. That's actually what he said. So good to know that their business model hasn't changed a bit.
So far, that one is by far the worst.
That is the worst because like just going from what was the math MSRP to what they wanted, you know, I added up. They got $500 of margin on top of MSRP just built into the quote we got. But, you know, the price difference between what's on the website for Honda, what the bike is supposed to cost, and what we were quoted, which again includes freight, assembly, tax, all that, title, license, all that jazz. It's basically $2,500. Just think about $2,500 on top of a bike that is not $7,000.
And according to the salesperson, you probably wouldn't want to take on the interstate.
Yeah, he said a 500 is probably not enough bike to go on the interstate. I feel like the guy that we were talking to, he seemed like a nice guy. I don't think he knows jack about motorcycles.
I wasn't even going in there planning to buy a motorcycle, and somehow I still feel like I got cheated.
A Rebel 500 has a top speed over 100 miles an hour. You can ride on the interstate. That's a stupid argument. That's a really stupid argument. I've ridden a Grom on the interstate. It's actually illegal, but it kept up because it did 70. A 500, you're fine.
And see, that was the hardest thing when he was talking about that, because
Right.
I've ridden motorcycles forever, and I know that a 500 can go on the interstate just fine. This guy was probably trying to get me into like an 1100 to spend.
Well, the 500cc single in the Rebel is like a 45 horsepower engine, which is about as much power as you get from an 883 Sportster. And they can go on the interstate.
I've been going into these places acting like I just have no clue.
Yeah.
And that's been working. And I think that example right there, with that guy trying to talk me into a bigger bike, is a prime example of them trying to take advantage of somebody who doesn't know anything.
Yeah, you can definitely ride a Rebel 500 on the interstate. Like, no question. But when you add it all up, it's like an extra 30% on top. And we're already starting off with a bike that's got a $6,700, $6,750 MSRP that they're misquoting. That's rough, bro. That's bad. It's only gotten worse.
It's just gotten
the
worse.
whole day has gotten progressively worse.
It can't possibly get any worse
Like,
than what we just saw.
The first quote, no BS, is just this is how much this stuff costs, this is how much this stuff costs, this is how much tax is going to be, this is what you're looking at. Like, very factual, very to the point.
They even tried to get me into a nice used bike.
Yeah, like, even trying to get, like, this is honestly going to be a better deal. Like, with your budget, this is going to be a better deal because you're not paying, you know, destination and assembly and whatever.
And then it degrades to you can't ride a 500
on the interstate.
So here's a bike that's $150 over MSRP that I'm quoting you.
Yeah. Good freaking.
We'll see y'all the next one.
I don't know how they're still in business, but they've lost a whole building since I worked there, so I guess they're not doing good. Get yourself a Busa.
Yeah, I need that.
Yeah, you really do.
No, I don't. I could do a Rocket 3.
I could totally do a Rocket 3.
This is the nicest one.
Oh yeah, the facility's great. I want this though. Speed triple.
Oh,
Moto
there you
Guzzi.
go.
It's the first water-cooled Guzzi ever.
I don't know anything about them.
They've never done a water-cooled engine.
If I couldn't have a Sportster, I would go for a Scout.
Yeah, I like this color. Yeah, that's the Scout 60.
The riding position. See, I'm telling you, they need to be from here, like right here. Or like right here.
Nah.
This is much better.
Yeah.
Of course, they could be right here.
Yeah, you could, but that'd be dumb. Try on a Chief.
I'll try the Chief, and then we gotta go.
Okay.
Love the head design. This looks like an old Harley flathead.
Yeah, it's got a fake flat head.
Heavier than a Sportster. It's very dense.
Yeah, that's got a 116 on it.
Oh, it just doesn't feel like
It just
a Harley,
looks...
though.
No, it doesn't, because it's not a Harley. Yeah, no, the actual...
There's not 9 million miles of end plate in the clutch, though.
They come with Brembos from the factory, which you can't get on a Harley unless you get an Ultra Classic.
Yeah, but I'm not 80 years old.
So it's actually the...
This has the actual correct MSRP on it.
Nice.
Yeah, you know, that's kind of nice.
Yeah. There's this one, which gives us a good AB. I like it.
I'm so tired.
Yeah.
But we have hit our last dealer.
And they were closing as we got there, so we were able to get in and get out pretty quick, get what we needed. You know, the easiest way for this comparison to work is like for like. And 4 out of the 5 places that we went today had the exact same bike on the floor.
Except the first one was a 300 and the other 3 were 500s. But for the price point we're looking at, that's really what our options were. Were a Honda Rebel, 500 or a 300.
Yeah. If they had a Vulcan 650S on clearance, it would have been in budget. But they didn't. They're $400 over the $7,000 budget, roughly.
Yeah.
So on sale, it would fall in there. But you're going to be looking at the same thing you're looking at with this one. So, you know, we just priced out Rebel 500 non-ABS.
2023.
2023, brand new. So MSRP, $64.49.
They actually had the correct MSRP.
They had the correct MSRP on the tag and the quote sheet. They charge $300 for dock, which is pretty standard across the board around here.
Yeah.
And then you have your tax, some money, and $1,000 for freight and assembly.
They lumped them both together.
They put them both together.
So you can't tell exactly how much of the freight's going to be or the assembly, but they both total to $1,000.
Honda charges, it's on their website, $400 destination, $200 for freight.
Yeah.
Together, it's $600 for freight. I don't know why they separate them. It's just probably so they can change it later and have less of an issue with pricing. But out the door, it was $8,400-ish.
We're going to have to really just sit down and do some math to figure out, you know, how much everybody is charging above MSRP. But I have a very good feeling that the first dealer we went to is going to be by far the most honest dealer.
Oh, they were straight up. The guy had no intention of trying to screw anybody. He was like, this is how much freight costs, this is how much tax is going to be, this is how much this is going to be. That's just how it is.
So I have copies of all the quotes that we've gotten, whether it be pictures, because they won't let you take
the original quote sheet. Yeah, they keep those for,
people from like us.
You keep the quote sheet because if you quote somebody and the price changes later, they're going to throw a fit if you don't honor the quote you gave them.
Fair.
Which is really funny when the quote you give them is low, it's higher than the next time they visit, and then they get mad about it. I've experienced this.
Either way, we know all the bikes we looked at. We know what MSRPs are, they're going to be, and we can figure out how much everybody's charging over.
Some of these are freaking real raw.
Yeah, bad.
Like, I don't understand how they think it's acceptable. I don't understand how they move freaking product. There's a problem that I had when I was in the business is that people would drive 2.5 hours away to save $500 because that's a pretty good deal.
Well, considering that we could literally drive half an hour and save $1,000.
Yeah.
Then yeah. It's ridiculous.
After all of that, what have we learned, John?
Call and get quotes from everybody in town.
Incorrect. Never buy a new bike.
Okay.
No, really, I'm never buying a new motorcycle ever because of this experience.
Let somebody else take the hit. Buy used.
Yeah. Realistically, though, I think that what needs to happen is that there needs to be some kind of consistency with dealers on pricing of the bikes. Literally, within a half hour, 45 minutes, we went to dealers that had 3 of the same bike and got 3 vastly different prices. And these kind of things keep people from getting interested in motorcycles or even buying their first bike. It's real good for the motorcycle hobby to just make it impossible for anybody to buy a bike, or, the price leads them away from it. So, that's good.
You can't buy a 300 unless you've just got more cash than 90% of people in America have on hand.
I'm still saying I'll never buy another bike new ever because it sucks. I mean, you could buy one of these. Tony bought 2 of these for $4 or something. You can't ride this one on the interstate, though, for sure.
Oh, no.
I mean, you can. You just won't live very long. For all those guys that don't like the motorcycle content, make sure you let us know down in the comments, because your hate is engagement and we get paid for it. So make us some money. Roast me. No, for real. If you sat through this whole thing,
I mean, even if you just skimmed through it and got here.
like and subscribe, do all that stuff that YouTube wants you to do, that we want you to do, and we'll catch you in the next one.
Sure.